So third from bottom, kick off against third from top, and both sides, Davy Provan, in serious need of victory.
Yeah, I think for different reasons, Martin. A draw no good to either side. If Arsenal are going to win the title, they need to pick up the 3 points.
Fabregas. Kleb's ball, Van Persie, he's in here, and Al-Habsi says well, but the flag, in fact, was up.
Well, I wonder, Andy O'Brien certainly dropped off to pick up the run of Bentner here. He's a fraction, half a yard at most. Otherwise, he is in. Delightful ball into the inside left channel. Andy O'Brien had dropped off, more concerned with Bentner's run, and it opens up beautifully.
Juve. Here's Steinson with the cross, and a great header by Matt Taylor. So Bolton, who've hardly had a sniff of the ball, put Arsenal in trouble at the Reebok yet again.
Oh, he makes up a lot of ground. You see him on the far side, and look at the determination here to get across Kolo Toure. One thing in his mind, get it down into the ground. And with that amount of pace on it, there's nothing Almunia can do here. What a terrific cross from Steinson. Comes in at a beautiful height, and Almunia knew nothing about it. First good bit of width they've managed to get Bolton. They needed to get people into the box, and Matt Taylor broke his neck to hit that back post area.
And broke his duck as a Bolton player. It's his 13th game since his move from Portsmouth, and it's unlucky for Arsenal. All that type of football had come from the Gunners in the opening minutes. But with 14 minutes on the clock, it's Bolton who score. Here's Bentner trying to get in behind Andy O'Brien again. The goalkeeper from Oman taking his time, as Van Persie was trying to point out to referee Foy. Well, it's Abu Dhabi who's going to be dealt with by Chris Foy here. Steinson has stayed down. Some hostility around the stadium. The referee will try, and it's a red card. Arsenal a goal down and now down to 10 men, and there's still an hour to play.
Well, certainly a straight leg, that's for sure. No real complaints there at the moment from Arsene Wenger. Chris Foy certainly had no hesitation, and he's quite right. It's a shocking challenge. It's in his left leg as well. It's the planted leg that he hits.
And so often in these reckless tackles, it's a player pursuing a ball that's running away from the tackler, and in trying to get there, there's a huge danger in the reach to the opponent and indeed to the player who commits the foul, as Diaby's just found out. Good pressure by McCann on Flamini. It's Taylor, it's deflected in, and Bolton lead by 2-0. What a half Matty Taylor's having, and Gary Megson. Smiles for Bolton, but frowns at the Reebok again for Arsenal.
Well, Gary Megson will tell you that his side are due a break, and they certainly get it here. Taylor made for a right foot shot for Matt Taylor, but he lets it go across his body. Doesn't strike it particularly well. Comes off the left heel of William Gallas there, just enough to wrong foot Almunia. He's just inside his far post. Even at full extension, he can't get there.
Toure, Flamini! Oh, that could have made a real psychological difference right on half-time.
It's a great chance. He just holds it round about the penalty spot here, Flamini. Bolton, well, plenty of players goal side, but nobody getting out to the ball. Eventually it's Gary Cahill who's trying to squeeze, but it has to go down as a great chance to get Arsenal back into the game this side of half-time.
Touré and Gallas have a quick chat. Oh, and it's Gallas round the back, and he's in for Arsenal. They've got one back. A contribution from the captain.
I think it takes a nick off Campo at the front post, Martin. That may have fucked Steinson, who's at the back post here for Bolton. Little nick off Campo, and Gallas is reading it round the back post, and all of a sudden it's game on.
Well, even if it hadn't nicked off Campo, Steinson was nowhere near Gallas.
He certainly lost him, yeah. He lost him at the back post.
Claverget. Fabregas. Adebayor trying to give him the angle. It's a brilliant play. Great save by Al Habsi. Kleb going in after it was Flamini who had the shot, and is the referee given a penalty here? Bolton are letting this slip.
It's a terrific layoff from Adebayor. Flamini just opens his body. Al Habsi does brilliantly. I don't think Gary Cahill gets any of the ball at all there.
Cahill on Fleb.
Yeah, straightforward decision for Chris Foy again.
Just about on the halfway mark of the second half. The ball just about on the penalty spot. Here goes Robin van Persie. It's 2-2. Some comeback from 10 men Arsenal. And Arsene Wenger feels his team are not finished yet.
Well, 10 minutes ago you get long odds in this score. Arsenal look down and out. Terrific penalty, just closes his body at the last moment there. The wrong foot, the goalkeeper, and Arsene Wenger knows it's back on.
Arsenal have stuck to their principles, and Gary Megson's team have conceded 2 goals in quick succession, and a 2-0 lead has disintegrated before the manager's eyes. And here's Flamini, and it might get worse for Bolton here with Adebayor. Walcott. Great run. Oh, Van Persie just didn't get his geography right in relation to the cross and the goal.
I think that's exactly it. If he's in within the width of the goalpost here, he scores. It's just outside the front post. Maybe he doesn't realise it. Just trying to help onto the target. Good pace in the cutback.
And Arsenal are still interested in getting another one here and getting a most improbable victory. We're in the last 30 seconds of the 90, but it's going to be 4 added minutes. And here's Kleb in behind Bolton Wanderers. Fabregas, goal! It got there in the end, and Arsenal have got there at the end. Extraordinary for a team with 10 men, for a team that was 2-0 down.
Well, they just lose Alexander Kleb, drifts into the left channel, they're not picked up, hoping somebody is going to attack the front post, and it's Fabregas who gets himself in there. Loads of time to look up there, Kleb. Good pick out, well, a couple of deflections, but no more surely than this 10-man Arsenal side deserve. A heroic effort here when they look down and out at 2-0 down and a man down.
Off Andy O'Brien and then Jay Lloyd-Samuel, but it ends up in the back of the Bolton net. A crestfallen Gary Megson. But this not only leaves Bolton Wanderers empty-handed from the match, it's a terrible psychological blow to their hopes of avoiding relegation. They were 2-0 up, but Arsene Wenger with a real show of emotion here, because his troops, depleted by the sending off of Abu Diaby and being 2-0 down, have bounced back in the most dramatic fashion. It was an untidy winning goal, but it was no more maybe than Arsenal deserved with the way they addressed their problems. The manager played a big part in changing the shape of things. Andy O'Brien diverted the ball towards his own net, but prior to that, Gallas from a poorly defended corner from Bolton's point of view. And then when Cahill brought down Cleve, Van Persie rammed in the penalty. And Arsenal were strong enough and confident enough to go on and end their run without a win. It would have been Arsene Wenger's worst run in the Premier League as manager of Arsenal. Instead, it's a triumph at the Reebok this time. It's Bolton 2, Arsenal 3.
Well, because we didn't give up, and it was a mental test. We 2-0 down, 10 against 11, and half an hour to go was 2-0, and we knew as well that even 2-2 was not good enough, and we had to go. You could see that even when you scored the second goal, we took the ball quickly back to kick off because we wanted absolutely to win, to stay in the race. Only 3 points were good enough today, and it was a mental test, and I'm very proud of the team tonight.
And you played a big part with a double substitution, sending on Adebayor, who you'd rested today, and Theo Walcott.
Yes, we played, in fairness, with 2 defenders, 2.5, because Theo played right back in the end, and we needed to go for it, and we did that very well.
And what about the red card for Abu Diaby? It was right in front of you. You must have had a very good look at it.
Yeah, it was not destined to hit. I think it was more protective tackle, but it was a fraction high, and we cannot complain about the red card.
How did it compare, in your opinion, with the one that damaged Eduardo at Birmingham?
Well, I feel there's no comparison because that was much higher. But that's the rule now, and when you're off the floor, you have to accept that you can be sent off.
But your team rallied remarkably. I know you've spoken a lot about their spirit. Did they even surprise you today?
Yes, because with the disappointment we had recently, and 2-0 down at half-time, I was a little bit thinking, I hope that we'll not feel too much down. But I know their mental strength, and I know they can dig deep, and this team is special, and they've shown that today.
And so, obviously, as we speak, we're waiting for Manchester United to play today, but you've done your job, and I guess in your mind you feel that even after what happened at Stamford Bridge, maybe you're back in with a shout.
Yes, at least we will fight until the last second of this championship, and it's a long way to go, and we have 70 points, and let's see how far we can go. Let's focus on the next one, but it was important for us to get back on winning a game, and we did that today.
I was going to ask you, because you've got these 3 games against Liverpool to come now. If you'd gone into it on a defeat and 6 league games without a win, I guess that would have been very depressing. How's the mood now for it?
Very good. In the dressing room, everybody's happy because we knew how big and important that game was today, but it gives us a good basis as well to prepare for the Champions League.
And you're going to look at those 3 games, I guess, as they come along. But with the result today, the league game in the middle of the 2 Champions League quarterfinals assumes more significance again.
Yeah, it becomes important as well. But you want that the first game, the impact of the first game will be important as well. So you want to prepare that well and have a good result in the Champions League game, a home game. It's a massive one, and we have another test, and we want, of course, be successful in that.
It's a massive last half an hour today. Well done.
Thank you.